Great, perfect. So thanks to everybody who's tuning in. Fiona Lee was the first person in the room, so again, thanks for coming in so early. Jacob Hughes, welcome. Anvong Vatasan Dilok, sorry for butchering your name, but good morning from Texas. Good afternoon from the UK here. Kitsune, as always, welcome. Thanks for coming back and checking out another stream. Jonas, welcome. Johnny Vanilla, Jonas Neumfeld, Darth Raper, OMH20, Toss Llama. Again, welcome to everybody tuning in. Seems like everything's sort of working now. The stream seems to be working okay, so let's jump straight into the game and let's start a brand new save game. So what I'll be doing, the same as I did on the previous Cruis'n USA stream. What I'll do is I will do the actual races and then I'll be able to come back and chat, because if I try and chat and read comments whilst I'm racing, I'll have absolutely no chance whatsoever. Let's just keep it on easy. Number of laps 3. And let's do Cruise the World. Same as I did on Cruis'n USA. Let's try and do coast to coast, or in this instance, let's try and do a race around the world. Jonas, good afternoon from Brazil. Obrigado to you too.
Choose your car.
Let's go for the Banzai. I always quite like the Banzai. And if I remember correctly, I think I've unlocked most of the courses, so let's just do Cruise the World.
Ready? Set? Go!
Yeah, I much preferred the further away view. It's much easier to see the oncoming traffic.
Checkpoint!
Oh, tried to power slide around the corner. If I remember correctly, it's the A and B buttons together. Give you the power slides in this. Like that. Wow. A little bit rusty on the power slides on this one. It's been quite a while. In fact, I think the last time I played Cruis'n World was when I actually recorded the footage for the review that I did for it. So it's been a while since I played this one.
Checkpoint!
As you can see, a little bit rusty. It'll pick up as we're racing though. And that's a perfect time for a boost. Kind of got lucky in that one, so let's have a quick catch up on the chat now. Everybody's sort of coming in. Johnny Vanilla, Top Gear Overdrive is still my favourite. I really enjoy Top Gear Overdrive. Loads of memories with that one. I thought it looked fantastic with the expansion pack. It looks really good. Nubbin is really enjoying the music in the game. Yeah, it's a pretty cool soundtrack in this one. Completely ridiculous, but yeah, still a good soundtrack. Fiona Lee wants to know, is this a port of any arcade game? Yeah, most of the Cruis'n games that were on the N64 were ports of the arcade machines. OMH20, do I think there should have been another Cruis'n game? Absolutely. Even now, I think, if I remember, did they not plan to do another Cruis'n game? I seem to remember somebody maybe telling me that they were looking to do another Cruis'n game, but maybe I'm getting it mixed up with another series. Yeah, for those asking, I'm playing on the Hori mini pad again today. It makes the head-on collisions a little bit easier to avoid, just because of the sensitivity of the analog stick on the Hori. So personally, I quite like it. A lot of people find it difficult to play Cruis'n, or any of the Cruis'n games on the Hori mini pad, but in this instance, I think it's probably one of the best games for best controllers for it, really. For those asking as well, the Cruis'n World Series, which we're doing now, you've got to finish third place or better to progress on to the next race. So the championship mode is the one where you just get points. No chance. That was a terrible race. Johnny Benilla, Body Harvest is still the best game ever. It's a good game. It's definitely a good game. Jonas Newenfeld, Shadow Man. Yeah, Shadow Man's really cool.
Checkpoint. 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 Go, baby.
Little bit of track memorization's coming back to me, so a little bit of practice, and then I should be able to actually win some races again. It's always good to use the boost right before the end of a race, especially if you can see the finish line. It's a good opportunity to use the boost there. Coffee Lover. Hate how the Trophy Girl has to be turned on in the options menu. The Trophy Girl had a somewhat colourful past, which is probably why they made it optional rather than someone that was in the game. Fiona Lee wants to know, will I do a Wave Race 64 stream in the future? Definitely. I've streamed a little bit before of that as well, but not an actual stream just on its own though. Jacob Holgerson likes that I've picked the Paul Walker mobile.
Ready, set, go.
This track is quite tough if I remember correctly.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
I'm surprised they haven't got like kangaroos and stuff jumping across the tracks on this one. They seem to like to go for like the really stereotypical sort of theme for each track. That would have been pretty cool, actually.
Checkpoint.
Ah, terrible crash. Terrible crash. That's probably going to cost me the race. Yeah. Terrible. Oh well, just warming up. Coffee Lover. The newest Cruis'n Blast feels gimped. No manual transition and no brake. That's unusual. Yeah, so Cruis'n, the new one, Cruis'n Blast, I'd need to check out. It's not a game that I've played myself. I'm not even sure what systems and platforms it's on, but let's try and get some speed back up.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, the sound effects in this one were a lot more cartoon-like than in some of the other games in the series. I'm not sure why they did that.
Checkpoint.
Ah, there you go, there is the kangaroos. I'd completely forgotten about those.
Checkpoint.
And again, same corner. Completely screwed up my race. Terrible. Apparently, yeah, so Cruis'n Blast only has 6 tracks. No Trophy Girl, no Bill Clinton ending sequence. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat seem to have forgotten about the Bill Clinton ending.
Ready, set, go! Checkpoint.
Yeah, I just managed to save myself there, truly. That would have been a straightaway head-on collision.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Okay, at least it's 3rd place. That's enough to progress. Jonas Neuenfeld, make Cruis'n great again. Dustin Wilcox says, hold on, Hillary. Classic. Fiona Lee hasn't played any N64 games in ages due to blisters. Yeah, it can certainly do that. It depends what game you're playing. Definitely the Mario Party 1.
Set, go!
Over to the Great Wall of China. And I should have taken the shortcut there to get off the Great Wall, but missed that one. Forgot about it completely.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Oh, come on, really? Ah, and that's the way Cruis'n stings you. Incredible. Okay, let's do that one again.
Ready? Set. Go.
That's one of the things I didn't like about this game, is that sometimes you can be completely at the mercy of the other drivers, but also the other vehicles, because especially with how much pop-up there is and the draw distance not being all that great, sometimes they literally just seem to spring up from nowhere. And if it's right towards the end of a race, it can really sting you.
Checkpoint.
Okay, I managed to get one of the shortcuts this time.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, never in doubt that one. When it goes as easy as that. Paolo Jr. thinks that this is the best game in the series. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments. Personally, it's probably maybe my favourite. I felt the series drifted away a little bit too much with Cruis'n Exotica, and Cruis'n USA was kind of the sort of start of the series, so it's an interesting one.
Ready? Set. Go.
I always loved the animal sounds on this one. I always found them quite entertaining.
Checkpoint. That's wild. Checkpoint.
Well, not too bad. First time on that one. Scotty Barger, Nintendo Life had an article on the newest Cruis'n game coming out in arcades and on the Switch. Definitely interesting. Nintendo Life is a really good page to follow. Johnny Bonilla, 5 out of 10 for me on this game. Jonas Neuenfield, how many games can you name that are set in Kenya? Very few. Perhaps somebody with more expansive knowledge on other consoles can maybe answer that, but personally I can't think of any other games. Maybe some of those safari games, you know, those hunting games, I think some of those are set in Kenya.
Checkpoint.
I should have jumped there, missed that.
Checkpoint.
These castles need to get out of my way.
Checkpoint.
Okay, into the pyramids. Oh, just scraped the third place finish on the finish line. Paolo Junior, where's a bikini girl? She's not in this one. She's an optional addition. You can turn her on in the menu. I am Turek64. Thinks that Scars is surprisingly good. Yeah, it's an enjoyable game. I quite liked it. It doesn't have the longevity of some of the other sort of kart style races, but yeah, it's a good game.
Checkpoint. Go, baby. Checkpoint.
Ah, why did he do that?
Checkpoint.
Oh, no way. I took the wrong turn. Cost me the race. Typical. Oh well, they're still on to the next race. Let's have a look. Lyrico Lanache caught the Tony Hawk Pro Skate review the other day. Instantly swept up in 90s nostalgia. Fantastic video as always, well written and produced. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Tony Hawk Pro Skate is a nostalgic game for me too. Toss Llama wants me to pull a two wheelie throughout the entire next race. I don't think I'll be able to do that, to be honest. Jared, hi, thanks for tuning in. Welcome.
Checkpoint.
Also, let me know in the chat as well if anybody's picked up the Nintendo Switch. Let me know what your initial thoughts on it are like. Heard a lot of mixed things about the actual console itself. However, the new Zelda game, everyone's going crazy for, which looks really, really good. I caught a little bit of it on Twitch yesterday, and it looks like a really, really cool. A lot different from the previous Zelda games. I'm not too sure how I personally feel about the sort of open world nature of it. I've always been one of the people that kind of enjoyed the sort of structured progression through the game, the sort of more linear style gameplay, but it looks like the new one's got a lot of fans, so if you've been playing it, let me know what your thoughts are. It'd be interesting to hear, especially from those people that didn't get free Switch consoles from Nintendo for promotion and PR purposes. So I'm sure you'd kind of feel obliged to, especially if they've sent you a brand new console about a week before it actually came out onto store shelves. I'm sure you feel a little bit of bias not to completely trash the console. So yeah, if anyone's actually got it hands-on, let me know what you think of it so far. Mark M loves his Switch. Good to know. Johnny Vanilla asking if there's any N64 games which I haven't reviewed yet. Yeah, there's about 90 Western releases plus quite a few of the Japanese releases I've not done yet. So I'll get around to those, but yeah. There's also quite a few of the big titles like Mario 64, Zelda's, Castlevania's, Goemon, loads of some of the big titles, as well as some of the other ones like the sports titles as well, which I'm in no hurry to get around to reviewing. A lot of them, especially the series which come out each year, they're much of a muchness. So what I might do is just bunch those together into sort of one series review rather than individual ones. Like Madden, for example. If you do individual reviews for each of the Madden games, there's not really a whole lot of change between them. Normally sort of rosters and graphical updates. So I'll see. I might bunch them together in one sort of longer series review. Or I may still decide to do them individually. I don't know yet.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
That was a stupid mistake. Really stupid mistake. For Android G, picked up the Switch on release. The hardware's very nice and Zelda amazing. However, the Joy-Cons take some time to get used to. That's interesting. Have you been playing it with the sort of controller grip attachment, or have you been playing them sort of separately in each hand?
Ready, set, go!
I think some of the games on the Switch though look pretty rough. I've heard the Bomberman R game, if that's what it's called, I've heard the online connectivity's been a nightmare for people who've been trying to play it online. I've heard a lot of people say that the left Joy-Con just seems to drop out and it takes them a while to get it reconnected, and even though they've patched the system with the new Day 1 update, apparently that's still happening for a lot of people.
Checkpoint! Checkpoint!
There we go, first place, that's more like it. Jeloji, if that's how you say your name. I used to play this game with his brother, but he started to hang over World of Warcraft. I've never really been into World of Warcraft, so I'm not really sure what the joy or fun people find. It's one of those games I suppose you can waste a lot of hours and really get enrolled in. For Android G has tried the Switch controller in all of the different ways, and he still finds the button placement as being not ideal. Yeah, that's another point I've also heard people mention as well. There seems to be a few common trends that people mention about the controllers, so hopefully they'll manage to get it sorted. I'm sure they're working around the clock to try and figure out exactly what's causing the controller dropouts.
Checkpoint! Checkpoint!
I always hated inside these internal sections, because it's like as soon as you clip the barrier, the race is done. It's really hard to make a comeback if you hit the internals. Okay, third place is enough to continue on. Jeloji wants to know, do I stream many N64 games on my channel? I'm doing more and more of them. I kind of enjoy it. A lot of people seem to be liking it as well. So if anyone's got any requests for future streams, let me know in the comments there. Freaka says that this looks like a 3D version of Rock and Roll. It's difficult to say. I mean, it's a very purely arcade racing game. It's one of those games that's very easy to pick up and play. You don't really need to concentrate a whole lot, even whilst you're actually playing it. And you can still have some fun in it. It's very simplistic, straightforward. The game mechanics are not all that deep. There's a little bit more to do on this game, Cruis'n World, than there was on Cruis'n USA, but they're much of a muchness.
Checkpoint.
I'm not quite sure why there was just a yellow taxi on this. Everyone knows taxis in London are black, so no idea. But they've got the red London buses there, so at least that's a start.
Checkpoint.
I love how they just randomly put aliens over Stonehenge. Shinespark says a Turok 2 live stream would be awesome. I did one briefly, but yeah, it's probably a series that that people would like to watch the entire Turok series from start to finish. Kid Show Ryuken, greetings from Japan. Good to see you, Jim. Hope all's well your side of the world. Mark M, never mind the yellow taxi. What about the Bendin Tower Bridge? Yeah, true. I think they've used a little bit of artistic license with pretty much all of the tracks, especially in this game. Everything seems to be a little bit not quite right, especially if you've been to a lot of these destinations that are featured in the game. They've kind of twisted it just to make it, I suppose, a little bit more playable. Because just a straight drive over Tower Bridge would probably not be the most exciting.
Checkpoint.
Whoa. See, that's what I mean. You glance away from the track for 1 second and then you almost have a head-on collision. What is that glitch? I have no idea. That's never happened before. This car just needs to get out of my way. I'm not sure what just happened there. The game just seems to be really glitching. I'm not sure why all those cars were just piled up for no apparent reason. Really? Wow. Hopefully you guys can all see this, all these glitches. This is crazy. I thought it was just clipping for a second, but no, it looks like it's just freaking out, and I've no idea why. Hopefully I might still be able to salvage something from this race. Okay, lucky I don't have to redo that one. That was really strange. The finish line is Trump's wall. Toss Llama, that was a really good line. That was a good joke, I like that one. New York. Let's go. Trump headquarters.
Set. Go.
Like, what is that guy doing? Why was he just attacking me?
Checkpoint.
Cat-like reflexes there.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Perfect boost right at the end. Detalix X is this emulated or hardware. This is on an N64 with an Ultra HDMI mod. So the new FPGA board. If you haven't seen or know what they are, you might want to check out My Life in Gaming's Ultra HDMI mod, and then you can see all about it. They do a really good job of showing exactly what the Ultra HDMI does and what it can do. And if you don't know their channel, I'm sure most of you know My Life in Gaming already, but if you don't, go over and sub to their channel. They're really good at the technical aspects of consoles, not just N64, but if you want to know anything about getting the best picture quality from consoles, then they really are the place to go.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Oh, really? Right on the line. Oh, gutting. Okay, let's just do that again. It's quite a straightforward race, Florida. But I think I need a faster car to really do it. Manual Caves, this is awesome, thank you. Mabasi Dat Chimp. And again, that's what happens when I turn away from the screen. The race starts. Let's see what I can do though. I might be able to make this race up.
Checkpoint.
You just don't want to get stuck in the middle of the course. Because then you can get involved in all of the collisions. You want to try and obviously win the race and stay out in front, but you really don't want to get stuck in the middle of the pack.
Checkpoint.
Really stuck in fourth again. Nightmare. Let's try this one again.
Ready, set, go!
Probably my N64 is what I prefer to play with.
Checkpoint! Checkpoint! Checkpoint!
Okay, we got it this time. Fiona Lee says the cars have a lot of rubber banding. Yeah, there's a huge amount of rubber banding in all of the Cruis'n series of games. Toss Llama, enjoy Breath of the Wild. I hope it's as good as all of the reviews have been. Lon242 has never played any of the Cruis'n games after Cruis'n USA. Now let's go off to the moon.
This is Mission Control.
Nicholas Cortez, welcome. Good to see you. The draw distance is so awful. Yeah. There's never been a strong point of any of the games in the Cruis'n series, the draw distance, but what can you do? Gelogi, please describe your favourite order of fish and chips. Fish and chips. That's it. Fiona Lee, do I play any other consoles besides Nintendo 64? Nope. If I was going to get another console, I'd probably get a PlayStation 4, then maybe an Xbox One, then maybe the Nintendo Switch. I'm not really sold on the Nintendo Switch. It's not really a sort of console that's grabbed me yet. The new Zelda does, but there's nothing really else in it, and I don't really see anything else coming this year. I know everyone's going excited for Splatoon 2, but I was never a big fan of the first one, and Mario Kart Deluxe. But again, I think it's just a Wii U Mario Kart with a few more features popped in there. So Jonas Newenfield, mind was blown when he saw that part of the game where you get dumped onto the moon. It was kind of a cool sort of feature or hidden extra track. So yeah, definitely interesting. I think the thing with the moon track, if I remember correctly, they adjusted the handling of the car, so you have to sort of do a lot more oversteering to compensate for the reduced gravity. But at least for this game, for the Cruis'n World game, they didn't put the awful pictures of all of the developers. Jonas Newfield, why does the car have rockets on the wheels? I guess that's how they think cars on the moon will be. Payne 0053, greetings from New Jersey. Thank you very much. Greetings from Leeds, UK. Thanks for tuning in. The Stickbots headquarters, hi. Well, hi back to you. Whilst the credits roll, I'll continue to answer any questions. So you have my full attention now whilst the credits roll on the main screen. Nicholas Cortez, I went to a flea market and I found a bunch of Japanese N64 games that are compatible with American consoles. That's interesting. So I take it you're not using a passport device. Let me know. Mabas would love to see an extended play of Shadows of the Empire. I was actually considering doing that one. Again, I'd be a little bit rusty on it because the last time I played it was for the review, which I did probably 3 years ago now. But still, one of my favourite N64 games. Really enjoy that one. Stickbot's Headquarters. Will I review Tonic Trouble or Rocket Robot on Wheels? Both games have been on my to-do list, especially with the longer games like that, which are a lot more to do in those. They take a little bit longer to record all of the footage I need, but yeah, they've been on my to-do list for a long time. I think Robot Rocket on Wheels is probably more likely to be the game that I review first. Delta 7890 says, I'm sure I get asked this question a lot, but would I consider reviewing other systems? It feels like I'm scratching the bottom of the barrel for the N64. I wouldn't really say I'm scratching the bottom of the barrel. I always just try to do a good mix, not just the big titles that everybody's heard of. I mentioned it a little bit earlier on in the stream. There's still some huge titles, both Castlevania games, the 2 Western Goemon games that were released in the East, Super Mario 64, Banjo-Tooie, Diddy Kong Racing, Zeldas. So there's a lot of big titles I've still yet to review. Let's see how I get on with the moon.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of oversteer that I remember. The handling's really soft.
Checkpoint. Here we go.
Very, very floaty. So it's really hard to try and stay stuck to the track.
Checkpoint.
And lots of low gravity as well. It's a difficult race. Fiona Lee says that she imagines that Chameleon Twist and Chameleon Twist 2 inspired Ukulele. It's difficult to tell. Yeah, it's really difficult to tell. I mean, I guess there's some influences with the sort of character designs, but I think they're a lot more creative than that. But yeah, Ukulele is definitely a game I'm looking forward to seeing more about. I kind of get a feeling it's going to be the genesis of a new sort of period for them. I think platform games, especially, you know, you look at Ukulele's coming back, well, Ukulele's starting, but also Crash Bandicoot's coming back. So I think there's a bit more of an appetite for platform games than there's been in the past, maybe.
Checkpoint.
And I just love how some of the boulders you can just completely breeze through, some of these space rocks here. And yet other ones just send you crashing. Oh, really? Ah, typical Cruis'n USA. Cruis'n World even. Okay, I'll get this race done. Gelogy, no, I don't do that type of stream. Wrong type of stream for that.
Set, go! Checkpoint! Checkpoint! Here we go! Checkpoint!
There we go, finally got the third placed. Jonas Neuenfield rednecking at his best. Fiona Lee, is it possible to race on other planets? Nope. The Cruis'n World was just on the moon. That was the only off-world track. And there you go. So that concludes, you can see there, all of the races we've gone through and completed. Basically all in order all the way up to the moon. As you can see as well, for those interested, some of the other different cars that were available on this game. Michael Whiteley, what are your opinions of Shadowgate 64 and have I thought about doing a review of it? Yeah, definitely. Again, it's one of those games which takes quite a while to sort of go through and complete everything in there. It's a pretty cool game though. It's one of the more unique N64 titles. So if you've watched maybe some videos of it that were already online and sort of caught a look of those, and you like the look of it, definitely an interesting game. But as for this stream, that is everything. So like Cruis'n, like the Cruis'n USA stream,